The Verdict podcast will begin shortly. The Verdict podcast will begin shortly. The Verdict podcast will begin shortly. What's up? What's up? What's up? Niggas and niggettes and white people and black people and yellow people and all people. Around the world. I am your favorite funny girl, comedian Judge Miles, and you already know that when the judge is in, the verdict is out. That's right. Today is episode 6 of The Verdict, and I'm super excited because we have a special guest that I'm going to introduce very soon. But before I do any of that, I need you guys to pin down a number, 313-753-2696, and call me, as you are my jurors, and I need you guys to call in and deliberate on the verdict. Okay. Also, you can follow me on all social media platforms under comedian Judge Miles. And if you enjoy my content, hit me up on Cash App under $PORSCHEMILES, which is Porsche Miles. Before we get into any of those things, we have to do a PSA. The Verdict podcast is real, raw, and raunchy. It is explicit content and for adults only. You have to be 18 years or older, or you need to get the fuck from away from here, okay? I'm not here to babysit nobody's kids or to be a role model to them. We're talking about grown people things. Today, we're talking about life after prison and what that looks like. We're talking about Beyonce tickets being high as fuck. We're also talking about dating in today's society. You can't never find a man because you ain't a good woman. We're also talking about sharing each other's toothbrush. How intimate is too intimate? And today I have none other. You guys are going to be super excited about this than not only my family member, my cousin who I love so much, but he is a true gem in society. Okay. A true gem. Now, let me get this stuff together before I get to moving things around, honey, because I'm around here messing up some things. Hold up. Wait a minute. Hold up. Let's see. Here, okay. All right. Here we go. Clap it up for my cousin, y'all, Mr. William Johnson.
What's up, cousin? Peace and blessings, world.
Come on over here. We here, honey.
Peace and blessings, world.
Now, you guys don't even know how special this is. This is my cousin brother. Really, he's my brother cousin, okay? He's the brother that I've always wanted. And today is so special because we dreamt of this moment. My cousin is freshly out of prison from serving life. Clap it up for him. And we talked about this. We talked about when you came out, you was going to be on the podcast with your cousin.
Yes, we did.
And we here.
And it's a dream come true. You can only look at it as a blessing.
We can only look at it as a blessing. And my question to you is, how long did you serve in prison?
I did almost 32 years in prison.
Oh, my God. You know what? We got to boo the system. Fuck y'all. We booing y'all. But we are so happy and we're so blessed because you got a second chance on life.
Definitely.
And we're going to talk about that today. We're going to talk about it. But before we get into any of that, we're going to use you as our juror. And you're going to deliberate with me, the judge.
Okay.
You can kind of look at yourself as like a prosecuting attorney or a defense attorney on these different subjects. And you're going to give me your verdict. What you think about that?
That's cool.
Okay.
It's rare being a prosecutor, but I'm going to try.
You can choose whichever one you want to be. You can be the defense attorney or the prosecuting attorney.
Well, I'll probably switch up on each one because sometimes you got to point shit out.
Absolutely. So before we get into those things, I want to let you people know that we do have sponsorship opportunities available. If you have a business, if you have a product or organization that you want to get out to the masses, the Verdict Podcast is the place to be. Call and DM me about any information, 313-753-2696. Also, never forget, the Verdict Comedy Show is still available on Amazon, sweet thing. If you didn't know, now you know.
The Judge's comedy special, The Verdict, is now available on Amazon and Amazon Prime. Rent or buy it today.
Rent or buy it today. Also, The Judge is going to be the feature for Faison Love. If you don't know who that is, that's Big Worm, fool. Playing with my money is like playing with my emotions from
That's
Friday.
Right.
You know him.
That's right.
It's going down. You want to come to this show with me?
I'm definitely coming to this show.
Okay, absolutely. I'm so excited. This is going to be your first show.
Yep.
Seeing your cousin.
That's right.
On the big screen.
All the time.
It's going down. I'm so excited. And not to mention, cuz I'm also going to be in New York for 5 days for the Black Women in Comedy Laugh Fest.
Okay.
Now, this would have been a great time for you to come, but you can't leave right now.
Roll officer ain't going for that.
Parole says, slow your motherfucking roll, boy.
Yeah, she ain't going for that.
But we're going to be there for 5 days starting February 26th to March the 2nd. And we want to give a big shout out to Joanna Briley. She was on a Today Show talking about Black women in comedy. It's really important to make a space for Black women in comedy because if we don't make that space, we won't have the space. So we got to shout it out for her. Clap it up for her. Thank you so much.
We gotta make a space for Black women everywhere, though.
I like that. I like that. We got to make a space for Black women everywhere. Y'all heard them. And I'm going to be on 3 shows. So we have one on Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. And so I believe that this one right here is on Saturday. It's called Child. It's 6 p.m. And it's just going down all in all. I'm super excited about that. And never forget, because you motherfuckers have forgot, and I do not like it, that it is Black History Month.
It is.
What do that mean to you?
It means everything to me. I really feel like every month is Black History Month, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because all history is Black history because everything on this earth started with Black people.
You better say it.
Starting with the Black God. But also...
They ain't ready for that.
Also, we have to remember that we should be celebrated because we at a time where they call it culture wars, right?
Uh-huh.
And if you look at what the predominant culture is, being the hip-hop culture, right, then that's the Black culture. So if they at war with the Black culture, then what does that mean? And I don't think enough Black people are paying attention to that.
You know what you speaking, cuz. This is why society needed you. We needed you. We needed a real nigga on the street.
That's what's up.
Yeah, so celebrating Black History Month. I'm so proud to be Black. I'm so happy to be Black. It is just a beautiful thing. And yeah, we moving right on. You ready to get into some things?
And on that note, I do have I'm speaking. My first speaking engagement is on Black History Month.
Tell us a little bit about it.
On February 28th. And my plan is to speak about writing your history and walking into it. And that's the biggest thing because it's good to talk about history in the past tense.
Okay.
But history includes your future as well. And that's what I'm going to talk about.
I love that. And where can we see this?
You know what?
You wasn't ready.
No,
Find it and come back to us.
It's for the Beat the Odds. I'm part of the Beat the Odds campaign. My man Darrell Ewing.
Okay.
He doing big things in Detroit. He was falsely accused of murder. And he finally got out and he the one came and picked me up from prison. And
clap it up. Yeah, he picked you up and
he employed me immediately. And he has 2 things. He has war tactics paralegal studies, and I'm working on that. And he also have what is called Beat the Odds, which is a at-risk youth mentoring and teaching unit, right?
Okay.
And so I help with the curriculum and shaping the curriculum with that. And so I'm speaking at an engagement that they're throwing on February 28th.
Okay. That's going to be live. I got to support you. You know what? I'm going to be out of town.
Yeah,
well, I send my blessings.
Because you're going on the 26th.
I am. I'm leaving. I'm up out of here. Well, we on to our first segment of today, which is called Celebrity Gossip. I love celebrity gossip because you ain't got to worry about my business because we in somebody else's business. Amen. I love
good.
that. Don't worry about what the fuck I got going on. We worried
right.
about what they got going on.
That's right.
And today we're talking about the Super Bowl. Kendricklamar, some people love the Super Bowl performance, and most people said it was a dud. They hated it. They was hating on him left and right. I want to know, what's your verdict? Did you see it? Did you enjoy it?
I saw it. I enjoyed it. I think it was a lot of symbolism.
Yeah.
And I think that that's what was important about his performance. And people that don't look for the symbolism or don't understand the symbolism that's going on.
Or dumb as hell. Let's just call it what it is.
Or ignore it for their own purposes, then that's why they don't like it.
Okay.
Yeah.
But they also said he didn't bring any energy. I was gigging. I enjoyed him. You know what it is?
What?
People are used to seeing twerking. If they ain't seeing no booty cracks, if ain't nobody busting it wide open on the screen, if we ain't around here cooning, then it ain't fun. It's not exciting. This was a message.
I got a thing about twerking.
What you think about twerking?
So, we get content in prison.
Okay.
So, every porno movie start out with a woman twerking.
What?
Yeah, so twerking is the beginning of it all. So, that's
But what would you say to
that's my version on that.
Okay, but what would you say to people who say that twerking originates from our heritage? Being Africans, dancing, we use a lot of our hips and all those things. That comes from our heritage. What do you say about that?
It come from a long way from what we used to do in Africa. Trust me.
You say they done switched the shit up.
Ain't nobody in Africa twerk on their head.
Oh, my goodness. They done switched it up. Well, they also is saying that Drake was super embarrassed because he got called a pedophile on national TV in front of millions, basically in front of the whole United States of America, because football is an American sport.
It is.
So what do you think about that?
I think battle rap is battle rap. If you embarrassed by battle rap, then that means you ain't a good enough rapper. I mean, when I was young, LL Cool J was killing everybody on the battle rap tip.
Yeah.
And nobody complained or cried. They went back and tried to write better. So, So write better. Rap is music.
That's right.
Get
Out of
it
the
in.
two, though, who do you think is the better lyricist?
Well, I would have to point to Kendricklamar as the better lyricist.
Okay.
But the better entertainer is Drake.
You think so?
Yes.
Okay. He is light skinned, so you know how that be.
Well, he tapped into all different kind of things.
Okay.
With the he sing, he rap.
He also acts. That's how he started off.
Act.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I remember I used to watch Degrassi.
Okay. They had that shit up in the prison.
As long as that shit on the TV channel, it was coming on.
I know that's right. And we're going to talk more about that. The misconceptions that people have about people in prison. I have a front row seat into the prisons because my cousin is on a show today and he's talking about everything from prison life to life after prison, having freedom, all right?
That's right.
So now we're going to move right on. We're still on celebrity gossip, but I want to know, what do you think about this? Intimacy can be seen in so many different lights. But what do you think about sharing each other's toothbrush? Dwight Howard and his new wife, Amy Howard, are sparking.
He picked a woman?
He picked a woman this time.
Okay.
He picked a woman this time. And she from the city of Detroit. Now, I think she crazy as fuck because she dating a man that like transgenders, but to each his own, right?
That's what's up.
Now, they're going viral because they're sharing each other's toothbrush.
Okay.
What you think about that? You ever share somebody's toothbrush?
I think some things just got to be your own, and toothbrush is one of them.
Hold on. Keep talking, cuz.
I think toothbrushes is one of them. It's all kind of nasty stuff in toothbrushes, so I never want to share a toothbrush, ever.
Ever. Has anybody ever wanted to share a toothbrush?
No, hey, listen, my experiences are very limited as far as having a woman. So no, I never had that before.
That doesn't mean he had a man. What he's saying is he wasn't on the streets, okay? So don't get no funny shit.
And when I say a woman, I mean I didn't have like relationships. I just was humping around.
Okay, got it.
So we didn't wake up and brush our teeth together, or we ain't wake up and necessarily get in the shower together. Then I go to work and she go to work.
Y'all was just fucking.
I was a street nigga. So being a street guy, I hit it and I got up out of there.
And you quit, order in the court. Y'all know about that. Y'all been getting hit and quit y'all whole fucking lives.
Yeah.
Don't act like this the first time you heard about it. But I can't even lie, cuz I have shared a toothbrush with my man.
That's cool.
I'm in love with my man. We've been together for 4 years, and we went out of town one month, which was last year, and he left his toothbrush, and I was like, "Well, baby, I got mine," and he was like, "Ugh, that's nasty," and I was like, "You done licked every crevice on my body. Now it's nasty. Order in the court, goddamn it.
Yeah,
You can share a little saliva. You done had more than that, child."
shit, it's more than saliva in that toothbrush. It's old chicken. And
It's more than saliva up in my coochie. Shit.
Thanksgiving turkey.
You done had more up there. So, I mean, at the end of the day, tomato. It's about how much you love somebody. How intimate is you going to be with them?
You know, when it come down to it, I can understand sharing a toothbrush at a certain point in your relationship. Like
Okay.
On an emergency tip.
Yeah, on an emergency tip.
Like, we went out of town and she brung her toothbrush or I brung my toothbrush and she forgot hers.
Right.
And we running out the door and she like, "Babe, I forgot my toothbrush." And I go, "Okay, well, just use mine."
Yeah.
Now, if her nasty ass do it, that's okay.
But you wouldn't do it. You wouldn't do it.
I don't know. I think that's why they got them little toothbrushes in the hotel room already.
I was happy when he did it, though. I was like, my baby love me, and I love my baby.
See, those are things that women find attractive.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think that brought us a little bit closer.
It probably did.
Order in the court. All right, y'all. We're moving right on to the next segment of today, which is entitled Dumb Shit.
Yeah.
Dumb shit. You know dumb shit.
Oh my God.
You've been around dumb shit before.
I did dumb shit before.
You've done dumb shit.
I've done dumb shit.
So this is the perfect segment to talk about. This segment is going to be very interesting. Now I want to know, what do you think about this? Beyonce tickets to her country performance concert is somewhere over $2,000. She done lost her motherfucking mind. Beyonce got that Grammy and then lost her goddamn mind. Would you pay $2,000 for your favorite entertainer?
I'll just say this. Her mama was smart.
Okay.
She named her Bounce in a French way.
That's what that means, because she been bouncing that ass. She had to bounce that ass before, to get where she at, huh? Her mama.
She named her Bounce in a slick way, and she done bounced her way all the way to the top. Now,
She did.
Do I think $2,000 is preposterous?
Absolutely.
Yes, I do.
Absolutely.
But it's Beyonce, though, and whatever she do, I guess she could do it.
Hell no.
Cause if people go pay for it, right? Like I would never, ever, ever. You hear me? Never. Not my favorite artist on the rap tip for a long time was Jay-Z.
Okay.
I wouldn't pay over $200 to see Jay-Z.
Me neither.
I wouldn't pay. Tupac was like
my favorite.
a god to me. You hear me?
Lordy, have mercy.
And $200 would have been my limit to see Tupac.
Absolutely.
So I think that it's preposterous. But what I'm gonna say is that people following Beyonce and they willing to pay it, they willing to dress on these fake ass horses she keep getting on. And so if that's what they gonna do, then more power to them.
But ain't it crazy how people are willing to follow Beyonce but don't want to follow in the steps of God?
Well,
A motherfucker give your time all the Beyonce entertainment but won't spend 5 minutes praying. Ain't that kind of crazy?
well, I think that's the meaning of do not have idols. People worship what they, what they feel is better than them or what they feel doing higher things than them. You know, it's always a higher power. And sometimes the entertainers become that higher power in people's lives.
That's messed up.
Yeah.
That's messed up. If that's you, I'm praying for you because, honey, I'm going to tell you something right now. Looking into entertainers to be able to help you in your life is not going to get you anywhere. Yeah. You got to pray to somebody higher than you. Amen?
Guys be quoting Lil Wayne. Order in the court.
Order in the court. He a whole crackhead.
Yeah, Lil Wayne said.
Oh, my God.
You got your nerves.
This is dumb shit right here. Absolutely dumb shit, y'all. I want to know, what is your verdict? Would you pay $2,000, $1,000 to fucking see Beyonce? I mean, at this point, I'm just over it. I'm over her, especially in this economy. People are struggling. Yeah. Groceries are hot in a motherfucker. You gotta sell pussy nowadays to be able to go buy you a steak. Okay.
Yeah, look at Messenger.
What's going on in your Messenger?
Pussy selling.
That's what's going on.
Man,
they ain't trying to get to know you in the Messenger.
Not even. And they all start out talking about they looking for a real relationship, right?
Yeah.
And then they ask you, for an Apple Card or a Cash App, and they'll see you a squirt video, right?
Scam alert! They owe some scamming shit, honey. I do not agree with this. Do not get scammed, cuz.
They so funny.
They so crazy. Y'all, we moving right on.
I'll never get scammed. We'll talk about that later.
That's right. We're moving right on now. When you guys hear this, we going into breaking news. Breaking news. We got a lot to talk about. I got to put you on game, cuz. Now, before we get into this breaking news, I want to shout out all of my listeners, my jurors, because we are international. We are in different countries as well as the United States. So I want to say hello to all of you and welcome. Clap it up for yourself. Now, we talked about this on our last episode, which is Big Dank. If you guys don't know Big Dank, she's a Detroit rapper who's over 500 pounds, okay? And this young lady is claiming discrimination from the Lyft driver. Yeah. He was driving a small vehicle, and he declined her ride. Right. And she is claiming discrimination. She feels as if she could have gotten a car. And he's like, my car could not withstand, my tires could not withstand all of your weight. And so he declined that. And so she's been making headways. And recently she was brought onto the Breakfast Club. Now, as you can see, she's on the Breakfast Club in New York with a two-piece outfit on. Her entire stomach is out. The little fat pieces underneath her stomach is out. Right. Her legs are out. She has on shorts. She has on a halter top. Right. In her mind, she does not believe she's fat. Now, this is what she said. Order in the court. Order in the court, okay? She does not believe that she's fat. And she says this out of her mouth. Now, what was really concerning to me about this entire situation about Big Dank, what was really concerning was the fact that when she first got there, she appeared to have an attitude, right? Like somebody owed her something. Right. And she came on there and they sat her in a regular chair like what I'm sitting in. And she was like, y'all ain't got nothing bigger for me to sit in. And so they had to accommodate her by breaking apart basically a bleacher, a big ass sectional for her to sit in. And this is where I say case is dismissed. Case dismissed. The Lyft driver needs to take this clip into to show the judges and be able to say, hey, listen, if she couldn't fit in a regular seat on the Breakfast Club, what in the fuck make you think she was going to be able to fit in my car? Order in the court. What you think about this?
Well, I think that, as you said, she's delusional.
As fuck.
Meaning, like, she should have a true understanding of herself and her body and her weight and just live with it. I mean, if she proud of who she is, right?
But she's not.
Obviously, she's not.
That's why she's screaming discrimination.
She's in denial.
Yeah. Okay.
So if she's proud of what she is or who she is, then she could be happy with understanding that if she got to get in a bigger chair at the Breakfast Club before she eat breakfast, right? Well, no, we know what the Breakfast Club is, but maybe she thought that's what it was. She wanted to get comfortable. But anyway,
I'm not about to play with you.
If she had to get a bigger chair because I'm sure, I don't know how small the car was, but
it was a Mercedes Benz.
Oh yeah,
it was a smaller car.
One of the small
ones.
Yeah, see. Yeah, and I see,
And she got that man fired. He's fired. He's without a job because she is in denial. She know that she was too big to be in that car. Even if she could have actually fit the amount of pressure that car would have taken would have been too much to sustain.
And he know his car better than he know her. So, I mean, shit, yeah.
So this is a case dismissed right here. This is open and shut. How is it that you're asking to be accommodated with not able to being able to sit in a chair where they got to pull out? You see how big this bleacher is? Yeah. This like a booth at a club. Goddamn, you taking over the whole booth. Right. But you screaming that you could have got in a small ass Mercedes. Now this is what tripped me out. I got to let you guys hear this for yourself. Listen to this, cuz.
I don't think like that. Like I said in the interview, I don't have a big person head. Like,
excuse me?
No, for real, y'all.
They cracking up.
No, look, I don't have a big person mindset. I'm skinny in my head. Yeah, I'm skinny. Like I said,
on the stage,
I'm the gym. I feel like I'm already skinny. Like, that motivates me. Like, I go in a gym like this.
It happens.
Yeah. Okay.
Cuz that's delusional as fuck.
So this is the thing with that. okay, if from a legal standpoint, right, then this guy.
I don't think like that. Like
she thought she was skinny enough to fit in my car, right? And she wasn't.
And
obviously,
she wasn't.
right? But from a standpoint of working out and having in your mind that you want to accomplish something,
Okay.
I don't know if you tell yourself you skinny, but you have to have the mind state that I'm trying to accomplish this right here.
Order in the court. It's one thing to have that mind state. It's another thing to be fucking delusional.
I agree.
She says that she doesn't even have a big person's head. Not only does she figuratively have a big person's head, her head fat as fuck, literally and figuratively. Do you hear me? On top of it, this is what's killing me. This is why we're in the position that we're in. You think you skinny, but the whole world sees you as if what you are. You big as fuck.
She her own shallow house.
Exactly. she part of the transgender community. She identifies as trans skinny. Order in the court. She is big as fuck, but she feels skinny.
Right.
That's what them transgenders say. They say I feel like a woman, even though I look like a man.
They made a whole movie about it.
This is mental health 101 because this type of behavior and this type of thought mentality has caused somebody to lose their job. It's very hard to get a job nowadays.
It is.
And she
Tell me
walking
about
around here big as fuck, demanding and commanding, having a bad attitude, and in her mind, she telling herself she's skinny as hell. This is why she wear the things that she wear. This is why she thinks she can get in small ass clothes and small ass cars.
Yeah.
She gonna be the reason why a motherfucking helicopter fucking explode because you too big. You can't get on the helicopter, goddamn it.
Hey, that's funny.
I mean, seriously, this is crazy. And I want to know, what do my jurors say, okay? So one of my jurors said she wanted a couple of dollars. This was beyond reach for me. This is nothing but attention. They say, what's the number I want to call in? The number is 313-753-2696. Once again, the number is 313-753-2696. If you want to call in, I'm going to let you guys see what the number is. And the lines are open for you to call in and tell me, what is your verdict, honey? What do you feel about this? What do you have to say about this? Give me 1 second. Because I want to know. Is this delusion 101?
It is delusional. I just think she making an argument for herself so she could try to get some money.
That's all that is. This a money grab right here.
I don't think like that. Like I said in the interview, I don't have a big person head. Like I don't have.
Look, they cracking up.
I would laugh every time I hear that because it's ridiculous.
I don't have a big person mindset. I'm skinny in my head. I'm skinny. Like I said,
You had to say for real though. So you know
I
she
feel
know
like
better.
I'm already
For real
skinny.
though.
Like that
You know what
motivates
for real
me.
though,
Like
money.
For real don't mean what?
I'm lying.
Order in the court. I need y'all to call on in 313-753-2696. Now my question to you, cuz, being in prison for 31 years, just getting out, would you hit that?
No.
You wouldn't hit that? That's too much meat on their bones for you?
Yeah.
You trying to tell me you wouldn't hit
That's a
this?
lot.
That's a lot?
Yeah, but it depends on what the situation is.
Look
though.
at that.
But
You
no,
went. They
that's
say
too
thick
much.
thighs save lives. You wouldn't get between that motherfucker?
That's too much.
That's too much meat.
That's too much.
She'd keep you warm, baby. If y'all was out in the desert, you would eat for 2 years fucking with her. Go ahead.
That's too much.
All right, y'all. So I want to know, what is your verdict? What is your verdict? We are talking about Big Dank right now, and if you did not know, we're going right back into it. She said she got a skinny mind.
I don't have a big person head. Like I don't have. No, for real, y'all. For real, no, look. I don't have a big person mindset. I'm skinny in my head. I'm skinny, like I said. I'm young. I feel like
I think this is the problem. Her being skinny in her head is the fucking problem. This is why we are where we are today. And a lot of us are laughing about it and people think that it's funny, but the reality of it is somebody lost their job fucking with her and her delusion. And that's the part that I don't respect. If you want to make some money the right way. Don't make money shitting on people and being delusional. I did not agree with this. I feel like people like her, they are fake as hell. She acts as if she's proud to be big as hell, but in reality, she really isn't. We got to call her, y'all. We got to call her. We got to call her. Caller, are you there? Caller, are you there? Hold on 1 second. 1 second, caller. Let me get you together. Hold on. Let me get you together. Let me see. Caller, are you there?
Yeah. You can hear.
I can hear you. What you got to say, my juror?
Yeah, I was calling just to say, like I said on the live. First of all, hello world. Hey y'all, hey. Okay, so that's number one. Then number two, I was calling because she was. I don't know if y'all watched Deb's house or whatnot.
I did.
She already knew that she was this big. She pretty much got kicked off the show because she was that big and she could not do, you know what I'm saying, pretty much what the other girls was doing, and she tried to throw that weight around a bit. Auntie Dad said, no, that's not it. If you want to be in this game, you got to get to the business.
Yeah.
So for you to go ahead and do all of this, that's not delusional. That's just really for real deal cop chasing. Everybody trying to get in this piece of this influencer or whatever type of thing. But that's this beyond reach because it's really people out here that's big for real that, you know what I'm saying, maybe going through some stuff, some you know what I'm saying, health issues for real.
Right.
Can't lose the weight. Like you capable of losing the weight. Like if you feel like you got a skinny mind, you capable of getting your big self up in there, lose about 200 pounds, and if you got to get that surgery, go ahead and get that surgery. But stop, don't do that. You see Big Lizzo, she was a big girl. That what you doing? That ain't what Big Lizzo did.
Let me ask you something, juror. What do you say to the people that say that what you're saying is too harsh? We live in a society where if you say anything concerning a fat person or a gay person or whatever the case may be, then you have some type of phobia. Are you fat shaming right now? What do you say to those people?
I'm not fat shaming. I'm telling people the motherfucker can put their big girl draw, big nigga draws on, whatever you need to do, pull them up because this is why we
like
going
that.
through right now because we can't say shit. We can't be truthful. That's why we lying to people. Nigga, you can't rap. Don't rap. Nigga, you can't sing. Don't sing. You like it's like you're not funny. Don't try to be funny. If this not your lane, find your own lane. That's what we make this world a normacy type of thing. Ain't none of that sugarcoat and shit.
That's right.
Because that's why we're going through what we're going through. Tell this girl she's big as hell. I don't blame that Uber driver. You can't get in. I believe she knew that she couldn't get. I mean, you know what I'm saying? She did that on purpose so that she can go online.
That's
you know
right.
What I'm saying? Who's to say she researched all this and be like, okay, yeah, you know what? I'm gonna go ahead because the next video she came on, she said, I'm not mad at the fact that I couldn't get in a car. I'm mad at the fact these, you know what I'm saying? It's the shit. So if the Uber driver got fired, he didn't want this shit because baby, I would have pulled up every fucking video I had, Big Damn House, the video after the shit happened, all that. Like, baby, we taking this to the case.
That's
like,
a process, though.
Yeah, it's a process. He got to prove it. You know, you always found guilty in the public eye before you even make it to court. And so for Uber to save face or Lyft to save face, they hurried up and fired him without even considering all of the facts. So, but we do appreciate you, juror. We appreciate you for calling in. Thank you so much.
Thank you. God bless y'all.
Yeah, you too.
Y'all heard my juror. All right, y'all, we moving on. We're moving on to more breaking news. Now this is a little bit more sad. Be prepared for the waterworks. All right, y'all. So here in the city of Detroit, a mother of two kids who froze to death while sleeping in a van at the casino, at the parking lot in the casino, says that she asked for help prior to this. So a mother, they say she didn't have nowhere to live. She was sleeping in her van. She pulled into the casino parking lot. Her gas ran out, so she couldn't turn on her car anymore to put any heat. And she found her two children dead. She was alive, but the kids was dead. And the city of Detroit is outraged. Some people are sympathizing and empathizing with her, but some people are blaming her, saying, how the fuck you live and your kids didn't live? But nobody is taking into consideration the fact that she's claiming that she asked for help. She asked family for help. She asked the city for help, and nobody helped her. So in a situation like this, what is it that you do? What's your verdict?
And the children's bodies are weaker than her body.
Okay.
Well. So, of course, they will probably suffer before she does.
Okay. So what's your verdict? Do you think she's at fault? Do you sympathize for her? Like, how do we dissect this?
I can't do nothing but sympathize for a mother to lose her children.
Yeah.
Right. So at the end of the day, though, we have to. I don't know the whole story because I did hear that she had somebody help her and watch the children for something else. So I think that maybe she could have found somewhere for the children to go.
Okay.
And for her to be out there by herself.
Okay.
Sometimes your family member take the children in. But if she had absolutely no help, then what can we say? I don't think anybody should be actually homeless in America.
Yeah, but they are. It's so many.
It's plenty of them.
And now with Trump being in office, he's closing a lot of governmental agencies and agencies that will help individuals like her and people who are on a non-economical, like lower spectrum as well. Yeah. And so we're going to be seeing a lot of this. Now, the other thing, a part about this is that people are also claiming that she also was shameful. So she didn't really want people to know exactly what was going on in her life. So even though she did reach out to a few people, it wasn't like she was broadcasting she's homeless. Because when you in this state, you may be a little embarrassed.
Shame is a big thing, though. It's a big thing. So I can see that.
Yeah. And so we just want to say RIP to the children. We need a moment of silence for those children starting right now. Lord, we ask that you be with this family and most importantly that you be with this mother. People always have something to say until it's them. Yeah. We don't know how we would react or what we would do because have you ever been homeless? Do you have children and don't have any help? I am not the type of person that's going to judge. I'm pretty sure that as a mother, she loved her children and she tried to do the best that she could and she just failed.
I lived on the streets when I was 13 and 14 years old.
Okay.
So I got put out of my mama's house.
I don't think like that. Okay. Like I said, in
the way that I, the criminal things that I was involved in. Right?
Okay.
But at first, I wasn't even a real criminal. I just didn't like.
You was a fake criminal?
Yeah, I was fake as hell.
Okay.
No, I can't say I was fake, but what it was my life started out just not liking my home environment.
Okay.
So I started running away. Right.
Okay.
I was never a punk, and once you out there on the street, right?
Okay.
Then you have to prove yourself. But for when I was like 12 and 13, I done slept in people's cars and you know.
Have you ever been out when it's cold?
Just out in the cold, sleeping in people's cars or walking the streets all night.
So this could have been you.
This could have been me.
This could have been anybody.
This could have been.
And
anybody.
that's the part people need to understand. Yeah. Instead of being so quick to judge, we need to be offering sympathy. We need to be offering mentorship. We need to be offering some type of therapy. This woman is suffering. Not only is she homeless, but she's lost her children.
And we need to vote in better policies.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because even like on a veteran tip, no veteran should be homeless in America.
Yeah, especially when they serve their country.
You should get a house automatically because you served your country.
Period. Order in the court.
You serve the country, you should automatically have a house. I mean, damn.
But the thing about it is America don't give a fuck about you.
They don't give a fuck about you.
Not one bit.
Ain't no doubt about it.
And that's what you got to know. And when we start to understand that, then we'll start to care about ourselves and our community a little bit more. If we had a tight-knit community full of black people where she had resources and places to go, this would have never happened. So instead of us dogging her out, taking an opportunity to talk about her, this is an opportunity to look at ourselves.
Well, black people that got in America and got individualized.
What you mean by that? You know, everybody don't know what that means.
I got to get mine, you got to get yours.
Okay.
That mentality.
Yeah.
And you know, African Americans and Negroes, they don't say it like that, but that's how they see it. You know what I'm saying? Because they think that America is the promised land as well. And in many ways it is, but in many ways it ain't.
So that's your verdict.
That's my verdict.
Woo, Lord have mercy. I'm praying for these people, y'all. We still got more, you guys. I want to know, what's your verdict? What's your verdict? It's time to find out. Now, I know that you said you haven't had many experiences in a relationship with women. You've been with women, but not actually being in a relationship, loving, and all of those things.
Right.
But now that you out after 31 years of being in prison, I know you can tell that the women are completely different than when you went in.
It's a whole new world.
It's a whole new world.
Ain't no doubt about it.
Okay, so this says, why can't I find a good man? So many women are asking this question. But here are the things that you need to consider. On this post, it says, why I can't find a good man? Because you got high body count, because you have nothing to offer besides sex, because you smoke weed on a daily, because you think you're a boss babe and have that mentality, because you primarily have only guy friends, because you've slept with some of them, because you're combative, argumentative. You want to be the man. You don't know what it is to be feminine. And I want to know, what's your experience with this? What's your experience?
Well, another one that should be on there is that you lead with your ass and your coochie out.
My God.
And when you lead with that, then the man see you only for ass and coochie from the beginning.
That's it.
And he doesn't know the rest of you. And then you later on want to cook, but it's too late. Because now he going to get the ass and the coochie.
And leave.
And eat the food on the way out the door. So my experience with this is that in our history, see, it's deeper than just what it is today.
Then talk about it. We want to know.
In our history,
enlighten us, cuz.
Women have been made to have to be the men and the women in the household, right? Because the men haven't stood up to be what they need to be.
Absolutely.
Right? And so over time, that type of mentality, it doesn't diminish unless men stand up.
Okay.
But what it does is it evolves. So the women have developed a quasi-masculine approach to life.
Order in the court.
Out of necessity. And so many of the things that in the past we done for survival, eventually it evolved into we doing it as like it's our culture or our nature. And then it evolved to this who I am.
Okay.
And so that's what has happened in a lot of ways. And so the whole movement of the independent women, I think women forget that independent mean alone. So many of the women that's been claiming they independent women, they find themselves alone because that's the way their mind been trained to be. But that's the problem.
And most importantly, that's how America trained their mind to be.
That's how America trained their mind.
But this is what's crazy. Black women are in that space, but white women are going home to their men. After they put us into that space and made us independent and I'ma survive and we don't need no men, they went home to their families and their husbands. Order in the court.
Ain't no doubt.
Now, this the other thing I want to say.
And the plus on the white women, the also thing about the white women and Hispanic women and the other women is that they never been removed from their nature the way that black women have.
Wow.
And so it was easy to come back home or come back to their nature. But for black women, once they got out of that nature and they was first removed out of that nature and then any semblance of that nature they still had, they allowed the movements going on in America to take them out of it. It's hard for them to get back to it because we have no real memory of that nature.
My God. Now, I want to tell you something. The first red flag that I seen when I saw this visual where it said, why can't I find a good man? First of all, God didn't set it up for women to find men. No. That's not in our nature. I think that's where people are getting it wrong. You out here searching for a man when that's not the intentions of God.
Right.
God, first of all,
and that's why you taking your clothes off.
Absolutely. First of all, we don't have the capabilities and the right mindset, I believe, to find a husband. A husband have to find us. This is why when we do choose, we continuously choose wrong because that's not the way he set it up.
No doubt.
He set it up for a man to find a good thing, a husband find a good thing, and find favor over his life, not for a woman to go out looking for a man. We don't know how to choose properly, hence all the mistakes that we've made in our relationships.
That's true. That has truthness to it because oftentimes women they lead with their desire to be taken care of, and they lead with their desire to have someone in the bed.
Okay,
I can't tell you how many times I heard in prison that it ain't the fact, it ain't this and that. It's just that I need somebody in my bed at night.
Wow, just a warm body.
Yeah, so a lot of times women lead with that desire, and that's not the desire to find a man out of because then you end up with a grown-ass man in your bed at night, but on your couch playing videos all day.
A grown-ass man boy.
Yeah.
A man-child. Order in the court. And so many of you women, not me, because I got a real man. So many of you women are stuck in this scenario because, first of all, you've tried to find a man. You did not allow God to send you a good man. And a lot of times, before we can even find a man or be in a place to have a man, we got to do a little bit of self-reflecting. We looking for a good man who has a good job, who's intelligent and have education, but you on Section 8 showing your pussy on the internet. He's not looking for you. Order in the court.
Order in the court. But then all good relationships start with you having a good relationship with yourself, though.
Yeah.
So if you don't have a good relationship with yourself and then you denial about who you really are and what you really want out of life, then you can never form a good relationship with anybody else.
What do you say to the women who don't know how to be in their feminine state? They think they the man. How do you right now, you are an alpha man.
Yes.
Okay.
Definitely.
I can feel the energy. I've been knowing you for years,
Yes.
and you really practice what you preach.
Yes.
No woman is gonna out alpha you. Okay.
No.
So how would you get a woman to be feminine?
You gotta first start with directing her towards those things.
Okay.
Subtly though.
All right.
Subtly, like talk to him, tell him what you like. Like I told a woman before that I remember when I felt like you loved me
Okay.
by the way you talked to me and the way you responded to me.
Okay.
And when I didn't feel that anymore, I knew that this love wasn't the same.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying?
Okay.
And so when a woman hears that, right, any natural woman, as she did, she started talking to me different in that moment.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying? And so you just have to bring them back to it in a subtle way.
But nowadays, these women, they kicking and screaming. They don't want to be there. How do you get them to that point?
Well, that ain't the woman for you.
Mm.
Because when they start seeing that the feminine woman get the man, then they'll change.
Okay.
Or they'll look into their curiosity to find out why.
Now, a lot of women say that we already have femininity inside of us. We're just looking for the right man to bring it out of us. What do you think about that? Do you think that it takes the right man to bring that out?
I think that's a thing.
Okay.
I think that's a thing.
Yeah.
The women respond to one man, and then the next man they respond totally different.
That's right.
So I think that's a thing.
Because an alpha man gonna have a certain woman acting a certain way and being a certain way and feeling a certain way, and then you got the beta men who gonna cater to them, do what they want, allow them to do what they want, say what they want, and she gonna be a different way with him.
Ain't no doubt.
More than likely, that beta man is what you call a nice guy.
And then when you get real men, you will start seeing real women.
Okay.
So it's not enough men that's demanding the woman's nature to expose itself.
A lot of men are afraid to say something to these women because they fear being kicked out the house, not getting the coochie. So they just let them be. What you think about that?
Again, I say a real man, right?
Okay.
Some people are just males. They just got male genitalia. That's not.
But they're not a man.
That's not what a man is, just because you got male genitalia.
Okay.
So a real man will bring the nature out of a woman when he demands it from the right place in his mind. It starts with understanding the God within you.
I love that. I love that.
All things start with God, then the man, then the woman.
Yeah.
Then the children.
Yeah.
But if the man is not a God man, then he can't bring out of the woman what he should bring out of her.
So before we end this topic right here, I want to know, what is some advice if you had to give women 5 pieces of advice or 5 characteristics that a man is looking for in a woman to be courted? What would those characteristics be?
So I would say the first thing is realness. I think the world has become superficial and fake in many ways.
Absolutely.
Right? And they made it okay to be that, and so I think it starts with realness.
Okay.
The second quality I would want to see out of a woman is the studying of yourself and bettering yourself.
Got it.
Because nobody is perfect, right? And I don't expect you to be perfect, but what I do expect to see is you working on your imperfections.
Yeah.
And that's okay, because I'm going to be working on mine as well.
Yeah.
Right? So the third thing that I would like to see is loyalty.
That's it.
When loyalty has many phases and many things, but the whole thing is that when we're in a relationship together, it's supposed to be us against the world.
Yes.
And a lot of times it be you, your home girl, and
your mama,
and then you think about me later on.
Yeah.
But if it's us against the world, then we supposed to be conquering this world in
together.
A way that shows that we are a force for real.
Okay.
Right? So what's that? The third thing?
That was the third. So the fourth thing, I'm on your ass. Come on, give me 4. Just give me 4. One more.
Get your freak number right.
Oh, okay. What that mean?
that means learn how to cater to your man. And freakery ain't always just sex, right?
Okay.
It starts out before the sex. It starts out in the morning.
With the foreplay.
It starts out with good morning, baby.
Yeah.
How you doing today?
Yeah.
What's on your agenda today?
I know that's right.
Oh, yeah? Well, I'm going to be at such and such a this amount of clock. You think we could find lunch together?
Yeah.
See, these are things that lead up to the
sex.
ultimate intimacy that we looking for, right?
Yeah.
But you got to learn.
Send a picture of a nipple or two throughout the day.
Or something else.
Yeah.
But we have to learn how to be romantic and intimate towards each other without actually having sex.
Yeah.
And once you do that, then the sex changes and it becomes a better thing.
I love that. I love that, y'all. Let's clap it up for that. So, women, if you haven't learned anything, we're not supposed to be finding men. Get yourself right. Get your mind right. Do a little bit of self-reflecting. Make sure you put God first, and he gonna come. God gonna make sure he send you a good man.
Ain't no doubt.
In 2025, proclaim that you will have a good man come into your life. God will send it. Put out positivity into your life, okay? Now we're moving on, and we're moving on to the segment that's all about you, cuz. This segment right here is all about you.
Here we go.
We want to get to know about your plight in life, what you've been through, how you're living now. This segment is called From Life to Freedom.
Okay.
Okay? And before we go into that, I want you to look at a clip so we can speak about it.
Mr. Hewley, count 1, felony murder. I sentence you to life without the possibility of parole. Count 2, violation of street gang terrorism.
Look how he's looking at his
Prevention
lawyer. He
Act.
want to kill her.
I sentence you to 20 years consecutive to count 1. Count 3, violation of street gang terrorism and Prevention Act. I sentence you to 20 years consecutive to count 2. Count 10, hijacking a motor vehicle. I sentence you to 20 years consecutive to count 3. Count 11, violation of street gang terrorism and Prevention Act. I sentence you to 20 years consecutive to count 10. Count 12, violation of street gang terrorism and Prevention Act. I sentence you to 20 years consecutive to count 11. Count 13, possession of a firearm during the commission of a felony. I sentence you to 5 years consecutive to count 12. Count 14, violation of street gang terrorism Prevention Act. I sentence you to.
All right, cuz. Yeah, now, with seeing that,
there's no way to do all that time.
Yeah, because basically what they saying is you getting all day. You never coming out.
The first count with the murder charge is life without parole. So that means that's when you sentenced to never get out.
Right. You have no date of seeing a parole board.
You see the parole board, but it don't mean nothing.
Because you're not getting out.
You're not. Most times, like 99.9% of the time, this will not happen. I think it has happened before.
Okay.
But 99.999% of the time, it never happens.
So with seeing that video,
yes,
going through your own experiences, which we're about to talk about,
yes,
what's the one piece of advice you didn't take, but you wish you did?
Well, it's a lot of advice. The first thing, though, is before you ever even get to the courtroom, right?
Okay.
Is I didn't learn how to make decisions properly. So I don't know if there was advice in that, but make decisions that's productive for your life as opposed to decisions that's not, right? So that's the biggest thing. So at that courtroom stage, though, the best piece of advice I wish I would have took was, if you know you was a part of this thing, get the best possible outcome. So a lot of people get life in murder situations.
Okay.
When they could have took
a plea deal.
A plea deal. So you don't get life because you actually killed a person most of the time. You get life because you refused or you went to trial. So there's a penalty for going to trial in America and in Michigan particularly, right?
Okay.
So when they come and they offer you a plea deal, like they offered me 30 years.
Okay. When
I didn't take the 30 years and I went to trial, then now the penalty is you get life.
With no parole.
With no parole.
Okay.
So I was sentenced to life without parole. So my advice that I wish I could have took, and I advise everybody else to take, and family members to get together when a person is in this type of situation is to work together to get the best possible outcome.
Okay.
You don't want to always take your chances to go to trial.
Okay.
Not to say that sometimes you can't be victorious as trial, but they start out overcharging you in the first place.
Okay.
So when they offer you a plea deal, that's usually what they probably should have charged you with from the beginning. And so so sometimes you might want to go with that.
So let me ask you something. You did almost 32 years.
Almost.
What were you in prison for?
I was in prison for robbery, murder, what they're calling felony murder.
Okay. Now, is it true, because I don't know if this is true or not, but is it true that during sentencing, one of the reasons why it was possible that you got so long is that did you give the middle finger to the judge?
Somebody said that, but
is that true?
I don't know.
I heard that.
I'm going to tell you, it might be. I might have did.
Because you was young and wild back then.
Yeah, I was wild.
I was like, is this a part of the story to make it sound a little bit more interesting, or did this really happen?
Okay, so let me tell you what happened at sentencing.
Okay.
The thing that happened at sentencing, I just might gave the finger, but it was so long ago I can't remember.
Okay.
But what I do remember is that the son of the victim, right?
Okay.
He walked up so close to me that I thought he might hit me.
Okay.
So I was in there tense,
okay.
right? And I was mad at the judge for allowing that because I was in shackles.
Got it.
Right? So I can't defend myself. And his energy, you know how you feel. I feel energy.
Yeah, you can feel it.
I feel the energy. And so I didn't know how to defend myself in this situation, right? And so I might have gave the judge the finger, but that didn't make a difference between my crime or not, because when you get found guilty of what I got found guilty of, it's an automatic life without parole sentence.
So that wasn't a unusual or harsh sentencing. Do you think that
was mandatory?
That was mandatory.
Yeah, because of the crime.
Okay. So why is it that some people have committed murder and have not done that long?
Usually they might have taken a plea. This is why I'm talking about get the best possible outcome.
Okay.
Sometimes people take pleas. Sometimes you could get, if you get found guilty of a lesser, like the first degree murder thing is a mandatory life without parole.
Okay.
But if you get found guilty of second degree or involuntary manslaughter or things of that nature, they can give you any number of years that they want to give you.
Okay.
So you could get found guilty of second degree murder and get an 8 to 20 or something like that.
So let me ask you something. A lot of young guys right now, they want to prove themselves. They think that they big and they bad.
Yeah.
After you did what you did that caused you to go to prison, was it a split second where you was like, damn, I fucked up?
I think in the moment of the crime, it was a second that I said I fucked up.
Okay.
Right? So when this crime happened the way it happened, I don't want to go into too much detail.
No,
right?
we don't have to.
But the man's blood poured into my shoe. So when I ran from the scene, I was running in hot blood.
Oh my God.
And it was at that moment, it was like, what the fuck am I doing?
Yeah, what did I just do?
Yeah. So this is so it was in that moment. And it was like it was more of a reality check than I expected that night, because really the truth is I had never expected to be in that type of crime thing. I wanted to be a dope dealer.
Right.
Not what I ended up in prison in,
yeah.
Right? And so it was a awakening moment like that. But over them years in prison, you still get that, like many times, because I did go to Cass Tech.
Okay, shout out to Cass Tech. Me too.
I was always considered intelligent, right? And I got a thing with it. They always said I was smart, but I always say I was never smart, right? I was always intelligent. And I think there's a difference. And I think that smart has to do with decision making.
Okay.
Intelligence have to do with understanding information and being able to convey it. That don't mean nothing.
Okay.
But you have to be smart in making decisions.
Got it.
And I never was a good decision maker when I was young like that. So there was a lot of times in prison when I always looked up and like, how the hell did I get here? Or what could I have did? What did I do? So when you talk about the young men trying to prove themselves, really you only end up proving that you knew how to erase yourself from this world.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, life goes on,
yeah.
with or without you.
Yeah.
And if you're not there, then oh well.
So my next question to you is, when you got that sentence, what went through your head instantly?
Fuck the world.
That's what was in your mind?
Yeah.
Why fuck the world, though?
Because in that moment, it was like, I'm going to die in prison, or they telling me to die in prison. You know, so I'm going to do whatever. I don't got no understanding now.
So when did you get to the point where you was like, fuck what they talking about? I'm not dying in here. I know that I'm going to see the light of day one day. I know I'm going to be with my mama and my family and my son. When did you get to that point?
You acknowledge that, huh?
Yeah.
So,
Because I was, listen, before you even get into that, I tell people this all the time. Now they're able to see it. You have been my inspiration for over 20 years.
Right.
Me and you connecting while you was in prison, and me seeing how positive you were, me seeing how intellectual you were, how smart you were, how you always saw the glass half full instead of half empty. When your outcome says you was never coming home, it kept me afloat. It made me feel like, why the fuck I'm going to complain about anything in life when I have freedom, I have an opportunity, when this man is in prison and he still have faith. I felt bad about not having faith in my circumstances. When I talk to you, you exuberating faith. So how did you get there?
So a lot of people don't believe me when I tell them that there was never actually a time where I actually believed that I was going to die in prison, right? Early on in my bit, I understood that they sentenced me to life without parole.
Okay.
Right? But at a certain point, the point that I really understood that no, I will not allow myself to die in here was getting there and talking to men. I met men, right?
Okay.
And they put in my mind that you got to fix yourself in a way that you figure out how to get out of here.
Okay.
Right? So keep going to the hole and keep staying in the trouble and because you can't properly fight your way out of prison from the hole. You know, there's no resources. So it was at that point where I determined that I would not die in prison, and I walked every day in prison as if I got there yesterday and I was leaving tomorrow. That's how I did.
But that sounds so difficult, being that it's on paper that you died in prison. You not getting out.
Right.
Your family, some of your family then gave up on you. Motherfuckers, are you out of sight, you out of mind. Motherfuckers ain't calling you. They ain't answering your phone calls.
Yeah,
they ain't writing you. They ain't JPaying you. They don't give a fuck about you. They out here living life.
There ain't no doubt.
And that hurt all in itself.
Yeah,
you have a son that's growing up. You're not able to be in his life physically. Right? And then you got hating ass motherfuckers in the inside that's also negative. So how are you still walking around like, fuck what y'all talking about, I'm getting out? How?
Well, the first thing I did was learn to take responsibility and accountability for my part in what happened and me being there.
Okay.
So when I understood that I was there because of the choices and the decisions that I made, right?
Okay.
I didn't have nobody to be mad at but myself. Right?
Got it.
And then eventually I had to grow past being mad at myself. And then I had to develop myself to where I became so big that prison couldn't hold me no more.
Okay.
I became bigger than the prison. At a certain point in prison, I probably was doing whatever the hell I wanted to do except walking out the door.
Okay.
But that's because I established myself and became a better person. I became a mentor. I became a teacher.
Okay.
And I became a sharer of wisdom.
So you never allowed yourself to have that prison mentality?
No, I was never a prison nigga. And it is a difference between a prison nigga and a man that's in prison.
I know that's right.
Yeah.
And you live in testimony of that.
Ain't no doubt about it.
I believe that your faith is what carried you through.
It definitely did.
So at what point, when was the year? What year, after being in prison all this time, what was the year where you was like, you know what? I actually think it may happen. Like, it's really about to happen.
But hey, listen, that's hard to say because some days was better than other days.
Okay.
Right? But I'm going to say about 7 years ago, right?
Okay.
So I had met a couple of women that I was cool with, right? One of them I had actually ended up in a supposed relationship.
So this like your 22nd year in prison?
Yeah.
Okay.
And so I met a young girl.
Okay.
And the young girl said something that I liked. The young girl said, you know, she was honest, right? She said that if you have 5 years or something, you a hell of a guy, and I'll be there for you.
Okay.
But with that life bit, I don't know when you will be out, right?
Mm.
And so she said, so I can't do that to myself or my children, right? So I liked it that, right? Because she was honest.
Mm.
And she knew she couldn't even try you know what I'm saying? But it was that moment that I had first said this to somebody, right? I said, within the next 5 years, I'm either going to be at home or I'm going to know when I'm coming home.
Mm.
Right?
You spoke it into
And
existence.
so that was the first time I had said that to somebody, right?
Okay.
And then after I said it once, I started saying it all the time. Because now, once you got
a thought,
you got to feed it, water it, let it grow.
That's
Ain't no doubt about it.
That's
so,
right.
so the thing is, the mind can accomplish what you think against, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because the brain is made as such with the subconscious mind to achieve everything that you conceive. So if in your mind you think that you're going to die in prison, you just might die in prison.
Yeah.
But in your mind, if you think that I'm getting the hell up out of here, right? Then the universe will start moving for you. Your own universe and the big universe as well.
Yeah, I love that. Now, while you in prison, 31 years, you missing graduations, you missing birthdays, people are dying on you. How you dealing with that?
Well, a lot of things I dealt with from a numb point of view, right?
Okay.
Because I had to focus on how to find out how to get out of prison. So I spent my time, and this might be why I couldn't accomplish or make the relationships that I want. Don't get me wrong. I didn't find, I feel like I couldn't find that ride or die like I wanted that ride or die.
I mean,
right?
for 31 years in prison, who the fuck was riding and dying that long? Come on now, let's be for real. Order in the court. I mean, I roll, but I'm your cousin.
Hey, listen, ride or die. But, and plenty men in there got ride or die.
Really?
Understanding is understanding.
Damn.
You know, and what's understood don't need to be explained.
I know that's right.
So if we got an understanding, then, you know, a friendship is a friendship, right?
Okay.
And a friendship should cross all type of barriers, you know, and a lot of times people can't see it from that perspective. And I guess in some ways that's understandable, right?
Yeah.
So I never really found that ride or die. But I done forgot the question.
Don't worry about it.
Listen,
but this is what I wanted to know. Because I got question after question. Yeah, I got question after question because so many people want to understand this. You know, we watch shit like First 48 and all of these shows. Yeah. And from the people on the outside, like I would tell people all the time, I got a cousin, 2 cousins in prisons that on both sides of my family. My mama's side. Shout out to my cousin Kashawn. He coming home too. That's my daddy's side. Yeah. You on my mama's side. Y'all was both in there together. And y'all both did 30 plus years in prison.
And we became good friends before we realized we was related.
And family at this point, right?
Yeah,
but when I tell people this and I tell them, no, these real men. My cousins is real stand-up motherfuckers.
Ain't no doubt.
They always want to say to me, no, if a motherfucker been in jail that long, they gay. They did some gay shit. My question is, tell these motherfuckers what it is. They think that if you've been in prison over a certain amount of time, you done got your booty played with. Is that true?
No. Listen, let me tell you something. Gay is gay, and if you gay, you gay. That's it.
That's it.
If, you know, you don't go to prison and be gay for the state. That's fake. You was already gay, right? So most gay men, right, it's a lot of gay guys that never even touch a man and never will touch a man.
Okay.
But if your gay ass mind already conceived it, then you gay.
Yeah.
So you don't go to prison and become gay. I was a stand-up guy. I was never a rat. Mm-hmm. I was never a sucker.
Okay.
I was never a house nigga.
So have people ever tried to come on to you? Because they try to make it seem like when you go in prison, you do get men who are gay that prey on men that are weaker or maybe smaller or whatever. Is it like that? Is it just like a fuck fest?
Some people, there's always predators and victims in life. Right?
Okay.
So some people have been victimized, but I'm a monster, man.
Yeah.
I never even had to
proclaim. Okay.
Yeah, that was never a question.
Okay, and that's the same thing Kashawn said. And I be trying to tell people this, and they be like, it was
never a question for me, and it was never a question for him.
Yeah.
And you know, KK was at the prison when I first got there.
Okay, that's our other cousin.
That's our other cousin. And,
okay.
And KK fucked up everything. So it was.
What that mean?
Listen, he put hands on everybody whenever he got a chance.
Yeah.
Right? And I came right behind him on that tip. So it was, those things were never a question for us. but it happens.
Okay.
Right? Everything in prison, all things are possible in prison. It happens. Those things happen. But I carry myself in a way that it never happened to me. Right?
Okay.
And some of the boys, they did. A couple of boys then Google eyed me, but I, cut that shit out.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Don't even look over here with that bullshit.
But no, I never had that problem. And like I said, if you gay, you gay. And you don't want, you was either doing it before you went to prison or you had already conceived it in your mind anyway.
So what do you say to the people who are like, how do you go all that time with no pussy? What do? You
just don't get it. You fuck your hand. That's what you do. You don't get it. When you led by your sexual passions, then you might can't handle it. But I'm not led by my sexual passions.
They say some prisoners be fucking the guards. Is that true?
Yeah, that happens.
That happens?
Everything happens.
So guards really will put their jobs in jeopardy to fuck prisoners.
Well, you might can meet a real man. A job ain't shit. You can get another job.
What do you say to people who say if you were a real man, you wouldn't be in prison?
Well, you might have had to come to prison to become a real man.
That's C for me.
Development happens everywhere and in every way.
I love that.
You can develop in prison and I became a real man in prison.
I love that. And I can attest to that. Order of the court. I'm just asking what the people want to know because there's so many misconceptions.
We're going to answer. We know they're there.
It's so many misconceptions about men in prison. Now, I'm going to tell you something. I told this to my man, too. I remember one year I went to visit you, and Kashan came out as well. He was visiting somebody, and I was visiting you, right?
Your uncle.
Yeah, and so both my cousins was in the visitation area.
Right.
But it was so many fine-ass black men in there. I kept looking around like, damn, this where all the niggas at? I was like, God damn. And I was so shocked because prison is really...
50 years old, America. This 50 right here.
Prison is really housing a lot of black men.
Yeah.
It's crazy. This why you can't find no man. They all in prison.
But it also goes back to what you said, that we need to become more tight-knit and become better as a people too, right? So we already know that society got a thing about strong, powerful black men. Right?
Okay.
But at the same time, once you know that, then you have to take responsibility.
Yeah.
And become better, right? You brought up about the young guys proving themselves, and see what I'm against is permanent solution for temporary problems. So this guy might have stepped on your shoe, right?
Yeah.
But the scuff on your shoe is temporary because you probably was about to buy some new shoes anyway, right?
Okay.
And the solution ain't to kill this man, this permanent solution, right? And so I don't come from a judgmental state, right? I come from a state that I've been there and done that, and I want to see better, and that's why I became better, right?
Yeah.
So I don't judge the young men. I'm at-risk mentor. That's what I do.
Yeah.
Right. So I don't judge the young men, but I've been there and I've done it, and I became better, and now I want to see better with us.
But as a black man, why do you think that that's the first thing a lot of people in those situations go to? Violence? Situations that can be talked out, that can be ignored. Why do some men, black men especially, resort directly to, I'm going to kill you?
Okay, there's several reasons.
Okay.
And I don't know all of them, but I could get some of them. One of the
just give me your verdict.
The first thing is that the children don't know how to fight and go home no more.
Nobody fight no more.
Yeah,
Everybody shooting.
Yeah, and that started with a no tolerance thing in school. See, you used to go to school, you get into a fight, I go in the corner, he go in the corner, and guess what?
What?
Later on, we be playing the game. Because nobody died, and we sat in the corner and realized it wasn't a big issue any damn way. Right?
Okay.
And so that's one of the things. The other thing is that violence is so commercialized, right? And violence is a big thing. So, we think we gotta have guns, and we think that we miss the point that if we see it on a big scale, such as America going over there to fuck up another country and shoot up another country, then the same thing in the neighborhood, it wasn't about whatever America said it was about. It was about what he thought it was about.
Okay.
So it's the same idea, it's just a smaller scale, right? another thing is that we're not being taught communication skills.
Yeah, and critical thinking
And
skills.
critical thinking
And how to
skills.
handle our anger and our emotions.
So when you go to school, these are real things that need to be taught. Communication, mediation, and
Conflict resolution.
conflict resolution,
Mhm.
problem solving.
Yeah.
You know, I learned a problem solving idea from mathematics, right?
Okay.
So I got this paper with like 24 different problems of mathematics on it, right?
Okay.
And the brother had us answer each problem, right? Now, each problem had a different formula to it. And people don't look at life that problems have formulas. And usually the way you solve the problem in using the formula is that the answer or the solution is usually somewhere in the problem.
Okay.
Right? And so we went through that, and that's why I believe that mathematics, life is mathematics in a way that we miss when we in them classrooms when we're young.
Okay.
Right? And so that's what we need. We need more critical thinking skills, and we need more communication taught in school and early on.
Yeah.
Right?
And what do you say about life after prison? How is life so far? You've been out for how long?
Hey,
and what are you doing? And what is life about?
Hey,
Tell
listen,
me
what
about it.
What they do?
Hey,
Hey, what they do? Hey, listen.
listen.
Listen. Just give the example. My niece, I guess I got a resting thug face.
Okay.
So sometimes I don't be looking too happy or whatever. So my niece asked me, say, "What's wrong, Uncle William? Are you sad?" And I told her, I said, "Listen, I can never be sad."
Yeah.
Right? They put me in prison with life without parole 31 years ago, right?
Yeah.
And nobody thought I'd get out. I always knew I got out, and I got out.
Yeah.
So look at God when
Yes.
you, first of all, and I could never be sad because the blessing too big.
Yeah.
Life out the prison is great.
Yeah.
Even with nothing,
Yeah.
it's great. You hear me?
Yeah. What makes it great?
It's just the whole idea that I'm victorious, right? So people ask me how I feel, and I don't have all that old, I'm so happy, because, that's natural. Of course I'm happy.
Yeah.
Right? But my feeling is victory.
Yeah.
And victory is so big.
Yeah.
Victory feels so good.
That
You
feels
know what
good.
I'm saying? You can look back at, look at you. I told you.
And God gave you an opportunity where your mama's still alive, your sister alive, your son is a lawyer now. You got grandkids. It's like you got a second half of your life that you able to live.
And not only that, I got a bunch of friends and family that's very supportive. I got a hell of a support system.
Yeah.
And I never want to leave them out because they got me.
Absolutely.
And they've been having me. I don't know how long it's gonna last. But it shouldn't last as long. It shouldn't be last that long anyway, because I need to get my stuff together. Right?
Yeah.
So, but yeah.
How long
it's
you been
beautiful.
out so far?
I've been out. I got out January 7th. So what's that, like 30,
A little
34
bit over.
days?
Yeah. So you've been out a little over a month.
A little over a
What's
month.
the first thing you ate?
Some kind of chicken. I don't know.
Was it good?
I ate chicken for 30 days straight because I don't eat red meat.
Okay.
So I ate chicken for 30 days straight, and everything I ate in the beginning, it was good as hell. You know?
Okay. What was one thing that you were like craving? Like, as soon as I get out, I gotta have this.
I haven't had that.
What is it?
I didn't have nothing like that. But a friend of mine was supposed to make me because I don't eat red meat, but I never had lamb chops before.
Wow. Really?
So
I gotta make them for you,
I
cuz.
was supposed to get that, but a friend of mine was supposed to make me 2 Cornish hens.
Okay.
Some jalapeno macaroni and cheese.
Oh, they getting spicy with
and
it.
some sauteed asparagus.
Oh, that sounds good.
But I never got that meal.
Damn, they playing with you.
Yeah, they play games. You know
Oh
how they
my
do.
God.
You know
I'm
how
so
they do.
happy that we
You know
are
how they
doing this and we did this.
Hey.
Is there anything else that you want to tell the people, period, about you, about life in prison, after prison? What are you doing going forward? What's your plans look like?
So my plans look like, first I want to get another job. I already have these 2 things that I'm doing, but my plan is to ultimately be into real estate, right? And to go back to school.
Okay.
Right. I know that's crazy at 50 years old.
No, it's not. People doing it at 70.
But
It's your time to shine.
But eventually, of course, probably find a wife. But I don't want a wife until I actually become the man that I want to be when I crown my queen.
Yeah.
So I'm into friendship right now, getting to know people,
and that's good.
And if it grow and if it becomes something, then so be it.
Yeah.
But
that's huge because a lot of women nowadays, they are not used to having a real man.
Right.
They don't even know what a real man looks like. Right. And a lot of women are used to taking care of men. So when they hear something like what you just said, I'm not really looking for nothing but friendship because I got to get me together. They don't understand that. It's like French to them. They're looking at you like, but I can help you. I can take care of you. And they don't understand that as a real man, that's not what you desire. You desire to be able to stand solid on your own, to be able to help them and take care of them. And the roles have switched so crazily. It's just so refreshing to hear you say that.
Okay, and then the other thing is, I read this in a book and I have found it to be true. That no matter how many books you read, no matter how much you grow intellectually in prison, that in reality, when you get there, you still that 18-year-old, 19-year-old boy, 20-year-old boy that you was when you went in.
Okay.
And in many ways, I see that in myself, meaning I don't be feeling comfortable in certain situations, right?
Okay.
Because I know I'm a grown-ass man, and I know that my understanding of things is deep, but the world is different, and I've been gone so long that I don't have what I should have as a man, as a 50-year-old man.
Okay.
So I don't like having to answer certain questions or look for certain things or people to deal with things that I should be able to deal with as a man already, and so that bothers me. And so I can't be with a woman until I'm beyond that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Until I know I'm moving as the man that I am.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So that's what it is. And other than that, and I ain't trying to just have fun with women either. I'm just really trying to be who I should be when I crown my queen.
That's right.
Like I said.
Yeah. I think that we have talked on so many different things. I'm super excited that you came today and that we talked about it. Do you have any final verdicts?
Just holler at your boy. That's what you do.
Yeah.
My name is The God Will on Facebook.
That's right.
And I'm William X as well. So if you need any kind of spiritual thoughts or anything like that, you can holler at me. I'm out here. It's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful life.
All right, and now we have come to the last part of the verdict. This is called Ask the Judge. This is the part where you can put it down in the comment because we have ran over. If there's anything you want to ask myself or William Johnson, a.k.a. William X, a.k.a. The God Will. Is that what it is?
Yeah, The God Will.
The God Will. This is your time to do so. We will make sure to read all of the comments in the comment section. So you can ask us anything about anything. You can give us circumstances and situations, and we'll make sure to give you our verdict.
Ain't no doubt.
All right, y'all. We cannot end this out without me talking about my man. He is the award-winning author of Alpha Diaries. You can go get that book right now. It's in Barnes & Noble as well as Amazon Prime. He also has his brand new book coming out, which is entitled Why She Left You. You guys are going to be able to pick that up sometime around March. He's helping men understand how to be good men so that you won't lose that quality and valuable woman. He's giving you the pros and the cons, okay? And if you want to learn more about him, you can go on to his website to get all things Alpha K brand. You're going to get clothing, you're going to get books, you're going to get wisdom, you're going to get blogs under alphakbrand.com. We have come to the end of the verdict, and you guys already know that when the judge is in, the verdict is out. Thank you so much, William, for coming in. We appreciate you guys. Order in the court. Until next time, we love you.